All right, everybody. I think everything's recording. Welcome back to another episode of Unprepared. I guess this will be the first time. I'll quickly say that I'm going to keep this video format of the small content going. I've heard a lot of people really like it. A lot of people also want to know what albums are behind me. And my guest today actually pointed one out. Rhian, welcome to the show. What album did you see?
I saw Saves the Day through Being Cool.
Yeah, here, I'll move.
Blink-182. Oh my gosh, my vision is terrible. Is that another Saves the Day album? And is that a Seaway album?
The story so far, Blink-182, Taking Back Sunday, Saves the Day, and then two of those albums are my band that I was in called City Lights. That's the first time I've ever admitted on air what band I was in. Anyways, I've used up too much time. This is all about you. So you are the founder, the app engineer. What do you want to call yourself over there at venntov?
I think we call ourselves app developers now. We used to be in the agency game for a long time. When we started Shopify Partners, we did agency work, and then we did app dev work, and we realized we wanted to focus on app development in 2015, and we just pivoted to a total SaaS model and have just been going for it ever since.
Just doing the damn thing.
Just doing the thing.
Awesome. So what's your what's the app that you guys are known for in the ecosystem?
The app, like what we consider our flagship app is SEO Manager, but what we're noticing right now is that we're having a really high adoption of order lookup app. We've never seen adoption like that before, which says to me that merchants are really looking for shipping solutions right now, and there's no one size fits all for them. So it's awesome. We're getting like loads of great reviews, and people are reaching out to us being like, oh my gosh, where was this app a year ago? And I was like, it was in the App Store. But it's kind of, it's been an interesting move for us. So both of those.
Well, my general audience, I would say, is small to medium-sized e-commerce businesses. So what I like to do in these 10 minutes is, what can I be doing right now that's going to impact my small business, my e-commerce store? What can I be doing?
Absolutely. Well, right now, I will say I don't know much about Facebook ads. I know Chase knows a lot more about them, so talk to him. But I do know that Facebook ads right now are very inexpensive and should be looked at, optimized, and utilized. Also, making sure that your store is optimized. So when you're spending all that money for people to drive traffic to your store, they're getting to a SEO optimized store. And actually on May 4th, Google just released their last broad algorithm core update. They do this like every so often. This is par for the course.
Yeah, they throw these curveballs at SEOers, search engine optimizers, essentially. But it is for the greater good.
Yes.
Because usually at least from my uninformed perspective, I would in no means say like I'm a search engine optimization specialist. Ruin that word. I would say that the bigger changes that they make to the algorithm are because people are gamifying or even going kind of more black hat with some of these things. They're like, no, that's not what we want. We want this to be fair for everybody, except for if it's a Google product, that's always number one.
Right, always.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, I think, as SEO 5 years ago is way different than SEO now. And what really changed the game was this algorithm update called Hummingbird, which changed the nature of SEO in terms of you can't just like stuff a bunch of keywords and things are going to work for you. Now, search is really driven by organic content. Like, is your store answering a question or serving an audience that people are searching? If that makes sense. Like, are you answering a question?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I think that oftentimes people don't understand that in e-commerce, your product needs to be solving a problem, and people are usually Googling that problem.
Yes.
And that, in a nutshell, is how you SEO.
Absolutely, and especially with it's called BERT, and then there's RankBrain, and it's like all this, fancy AI, machine learning, neural matching stuff. But it really just distills down to, does the content on your store provide a solve for what people are looking for? Point blank, period. And even in the most recent documentation sent out from Google Search Liaison, they said, like, focus on content. If you focus on content, you're going to produce the content that we're looking for. If you try to like black hat it, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and it's like a few things that I've noticed with producing content that people don't think about, and it's like, how will Google know about this content if it's good or not? And it's like, all right, if the time on your site goes up because you produced a good piece of content, Google will see that, and they're like, oh, people are spending more time on this page reading this. It's probably good content. So then you're going to go up in the rankings. Another one is lost my train of thought. I was going to say something about videos.
Well, that's okay, but you're right, because it shows you're trustworthy.
Yep.
Right? There's something of value to be found. Like, why else would people be coming to your website or to your store and spending 5 minutes and then clicking through a bunch of things and not just bouncing from that one page? That's what Google wants to see. They don't want to see someone bouncing off of your homepage in 2 seconds.
I got it. It came back to me. So another thing that Google likes to see is that your website is constantly being updated.
100%.
If your website hasn't been updated once in the last year, Google knows because it indexes it every other week usually. So when it's like, oh, this has been updated like once a week methodically for the last year, they're like, these guys are constantly improving their website. This is a trustworthy source.
Absolutely. And there's actually the ability to filter by date, right? And that's going to, Google announced, I want to say, time is a construct right now. I want to say it was 6 months ago, but it could have been a year ago.
Could have been 6 days. Who knows?
Who's to say? A while ago, Google said they're going to really, really start prioritizing new content. And it's crucial. And the blog is the easiest way, because if you have a fixed product, like if you have that one flagship product in like 3 colorways, well, you're not going to update that all that often, but you can update your blog content every week, once a week.
That's the one thing people are like, well, I only have one product. How do I write blogs about it? And it's like, well, let me flip it, the script. Tell me about your product. And within 5 minutes, you're going to be rambling about things that are nowhere on your website. Where's the best way to put that is put it in your blog. Oh, your product's great for Mother's Day gifts. Like that should have been in your blog. You should have had a whole series about like that and what it could pair with. Like right there, easy blog entry.
Well, exactly. And if you are that flagship product and you really only have that one or even say sub 10 products, working on partnering and doing co-marketing with other merchants, kind of either in your vertical, but who don't directly compete. Like if you sell hoodies, work with a denim company or work with a plant company or work with whomever to provide these blogs and co-marketing opportunities. And I think people they get in their heads too much about blogs and like, I just can't do this. When in reality, it's like, well, as long as they're not competing with me, it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I saw something the other day. I'll try to find this tweet and I'll try to put it in the show notes. But essentially it was like people write 1 or 2 blogs and it like won't move the needle, and then compared it to like people's how many number 1 hits they had on their albums. It's like, oh, like Drake put out 138 songs and only 23 of them hit number 1. It's like, yeah, it's content is a long-term game. Like you got to keep doing it.
Yes. The
first ones are probably going to be terrible, but eventually you'll start to hit things that people start to respond to, and that's what it is. So you just got to keep on top of it.
Yeah, I think we get in our heads a lot when it comes to writing, and we try to be perfect. And it's not about being perfect. It's like shipping software. Good software is never finished. Good writing is never done. It's never going to be perfectly edited. And that's okay. If you're not a great writer, no one cares. The internet doesn't care. The internet reads at grade 5, grade 6. Like you don't need to be writing New York Times level content. You just don't.
What's the old adage? If your product's perfect when you shipped it, you've taken too long?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
What's do you have some inside baseball there? Have you guys shipped a feature recently that was like, this is gobbledygook, but we need it out?
No, right now we're working on scaling database right now because we have some stuff in the works for SEO Manager.
Cool.
But we had to do some database work first to make sure we could support it, but it's going to be pretty epic.
Awesome. So if people are picking up what you're putting down, where can they find you?
They can find us at venntov.com in the App Store, SEO Manager, order lookup, clocked in, or me personally on Twitter at Rhian Katie, RhianKatie.
Thank you so much.
Of course.